Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to a review for Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin. If you've watched some of my other reviews, this is a special one because today, next to me, I have special guest, Mr. Ashton Boykin. Say hello, everybody.
Hey, guys.
I brought Ashton on here because he is a huge Dark Souls fan like myself, and he hasn't played Scholar of the First Sin, but I have shown him some PC gameplay, which you're about to see, and I think he's pretty blown away by it.
Oh, yeah, because, well, being stuck on an Xbox 360 for right now has kind of put me behind in the whole graphics world. You know, 1080p 60 frames per second is not something you hit.
Yeah, that happens. It does happen. Okay. So we're gonna jump into the specs right now. You can see the video. I'm running a GTX 970 with a i7 2600K, and it put me on 4K maxed out by default. I think it's completely runnable like that, but I knocked it down to 1527 because it's plenty for capturing purposes, and I knew it would be more than enough. So basically, you don't have to have that high end of a rig to max this thing out,
because
just like
it's
Dark Souls 2. And it's just not that strong.
Who wants to see
game.
Dark Souls in 4K? Who knows the difference?
Everybody. As for the settings, it's the same as Dark Souls 2 from what I can see, and some of them are not exactly very specific, like SSAO and like the anisotropic filtering. It doesn't tell you like what kind it is, how high it goes. Anti-aliasing doesn't tell you what kind it is. It's probably FXAA, but it does the job, and you could always enable stuff through NVIDIA and AMD's panels and whatnot. Cutscenes look pretty much identical. They're pre-rendered, lower res than the game than you'll be running more than likely, but I mean they're still fun to watch.
Yeah. If only the game looked as good as the freaking cinematics. My gosh, this game would be beautiful. It looked like this. But you'll see as this video wears on that the game does look incredible.
After you fall through the abyss like normal, you spawn in things betwixt, and as you can see, it
Flappy capes.
Flappy capes. That's the main reason to upgrade. At first, you won't think, there's not too significant of a difference. The textures still look like shit up close, but in higher resolution, it does make a difference. Grass actually looks like grass and not random jagged lines.
Yeah.
I'll show you some Xbox 360 footage in a moment from Ashton's playthrough, which is also not gone up yet.
And I've played the heck out of Dark Souls 2 as of recently. I mean, I've made it all the way through up to New Game Plus 2 now, and I can tell a great difference between Ryan playing through Scholar of the First Sin on his PC and the Xbox 360. There's been a real upgrade in graphics here.
And this is just showing, he hasn't even seen real gameplay yet. I'm just showing him raw footage files. Even walking in through here, if there's an obvious difference in lighting in the DX11 version. Is it that significant from the PC, like the regular DX9 PC version? I don't know, because I haven't watched it in person, but I still think just from seeing video comparisons, the lighting is quite a bit more defined. I'm on to character creation here, and it's pretty much the same thing as it was before. I'm going Warrior this playthrough if you're watching any of my playthrough stuff.
Now, what I would like to see is if the tattoos still hold up as grainy as they did on my
They're
Xbox
better
360.
because I almost put a tattoo on, and I once I realized my character looked like Keanu Reeves, I didn't want to put a tattoo on him. But I would have liked to seen more, since they're going to be splitting the player base between DX9 and 11 anyway. I would have liked to see more hairstyles, more beards, or something like that they could have put in. I mean,
just more additions in general. If you're going to add stuff,
why not add
your character?
Add more, customization stuff. I mean, there'll be mods and stuff for it, and that's the beauty of PC. But if you're on PS4 or Xbox One, sorry, you can't get it. So yeah, character creation is the same before. The big two differences in this game, enemy placement is very different, and PvP is very different. But I'm continuing to showing some more graphical stuff here. Here's the Xbox 360, the original release back in April 2014. It was April, right?
See, I've got a tattoo on my face, white dreads, and black dude. And if you can see my character creation, it's very, very grainy.
And here is crystal clear at 2x 1080p downsampled to 1080p. And as I said, if you watch this first episode where this footage shows up, I say my jaw was like literally open when I walked outside, because there's not really many. I mean, this is it's not a realistic looking game by any means, but it's still the art style. That ocean looks beautiful. So I think we'll show a couple more comparisons through here just to nail down the point. So yes, this is a very pretty game, and me saying that for a Dark Souls game is pretty funny, because absolutely horrendous on consoles.
Yeah, like the hub in Dark Souls 1 of Firelink Shrine was
disgusting.
not very aesthetically pleasing.
Here is where the enemy placement thing starts to come in handy. So, like, looking around, you know,
here's me hanging out. Oh, we've got a hollow soldier in front of me.
no big deal. You know, clear out the hollow soldiers. You'll be able to go directly to the bonfire as normal. Nothing big. What the fuck is that? Oh, that's a giant ogre now. That is a recurring theme throughout the entire Scholar of the First Sin for the new version, not the old gen.
And this guy, I don't know where he came from because he didn't bother me when I was just
yeah,
there.
I know. Not only are there harder enemies, very large, high health enemies like the ogre, some of the big turtle knights in this early starting areas. Most of the normal enemies themselves are more aggressive. So I think this game has gotten leaps and bounds harder on new game, which is fine for me, and I think it's really intended for people who've already played the game. But if you're coming into this fresh, I feel like you're going to have a maybe just as bad of a hard time on this game as you will playing Dark Souls 1 fresh. So that's something to keep in mind.
It took me around 75, 80 hours to beat Dark Souls 1 because I went straight new, no walkthroughs.
With the DLC now, I think it's going to take longer
yes.
on here for me because I've never played the DLC, and I'll see. This is you can see the graphical differences and enemy placement differences very well here. Normally, this guy's sitting down with a halberd, just chilling. You know, you can come up. You can kind of backstab him most of the time. Here I am admiring the new visuals. I'm like, oh, that's pretty. Oh, look at the textures on the ground. They're really well defined. Oh, shit, this is really nice. Okay.
Look at all that moss.
Who the fuck? What the fuck is that? A random royal swordsman
coming for your face.
Coming. The rape train has no brakes for him.
He's coming for your giblets, and he's not going to stop till
So
he eats
yeah,
them.
that happens every time you walk outside. So that's a kind of a pain in the ass. The graphical differences get even more well defined once you go inside and.
Just creeping in through the door here. Nothing like opening a large stone door. Hey, look, there's a statue.
Just look at the lighting effects and look at the statue detail. It's pretty muddy on here. I mean, it's okay. You can definitely see the low resolution. And going in, the door everything is way more defined. Oh, wow, look at that. It's not just all black on the ground. And you can actually see the blood splatter and everything. Oh, look at that.
More detail. There's fading in the blood splatter, not just black spots.
And here's another enemy placement. These gave me trouble early on because I forgot they fell on their ass like that. And they will absolutely wreck you. But as much as it's been hard to deal with, especially in later areas with these harder enemies, it has been a cool little challenge for someone who's already played the game. Here's a cutscene difference, and because these cutscenes do take place in engine and not pre-rendered, you can see a huge this looks so nasty to me right now. And screen tearing abound everywhere.
Yeah.
Awful screen tearing.
And you know he has a butthole for a face, so
they didn't fix that, unfortunately.
No, they could have given him a real face. Nope, your face is a butthole. But the screen tearing, it really is.
It's unbearable, and from what I hear, it may be happening again on Xbox One because of frame drops. But I'll get to that later when I talk about the pricing.
Frame drop city.
Here is the PC new Scholar of the First Sin DX11 version. Obviously, the higher frame rates easier to spot. Yeah, textures much more well defined, less polygon, it's less obvious.
You can see the little divots within the stone.
Yeah, they either did some really good bump mapping or combination with that and tessellation because the model just looks really you can put your hands on it and feel the grooves and shit.
But notice, not a single bit of screen tearing.
Not a single bit of screen tearing. I don't know if they use built-in VSync or what on this. But at 60 frames per second, it is flawless. No, I've not had a single bit of screen tearing. If you see any type of frame drop in the gameplay that I show you, it's because of it happened during rendering. It's not the raw footage's fault. So, because I've not had, even during the most intense battles, explosions going on with fire bombs, nothing. My 970 just laughed at it. So, if you have SLI 980s or fucking Titan X or something, you could crank this up to 4K, probably get 100 frames per second if you
and have just a grand old time.
Dial down the settings a little bit. If you're playing 1440p 144 hertz, I don't know how this game handles extremely high refresh rates like that, but if it can, you'll have no problem with it. Me taking down the last giant first try. Pretty good stuff right there.
And if you haven't played this game before, you'll see a guy just like him later on. He's pretty fun.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to even getting through that part. Okay. I believe this is Xbox 360 footage, and I haven't forgot. I'll put that in post.
Sweet old pursuer. And he's... Oh, man, I hate him so much.
I can't tell, honestly, actually.
Now, there is a pretty cool thing. I don't know if anybody's ever done it. If you get the red ring... what is it? Red ring of the evil eye. If you wear it, you can get the kind of laser vision like you have in the pursuer.
Pretty cool.
It looks pretty good on helmets.
I've seen some people cosplay with that. It's pretty nice. So, yeah, there's I got fucking destroyed there.
Nothing beats a nice curse to the stomach. Yeah, this attack right here wrecked me with me not thinking about it. What I didn't what I'd like to see. I love the darkness he's got glowing around him when he does his curse move.
Yeah,
nice.
they definitely worked on the particle effects. I think. There's a few more differences in here. PvP now allows up to 6 players in one world, which is pretty cool. I guess that means you could have 2 friendly summons and 3 enemies that if you want to fight and just have a battle royale type thing. So I look forward to do some of that. You've seen enemy placements. I'll show you more fucked up enemy placements in Hyde's Tower of Flame. That if you watch some of the PS4 video stuff, you've already seen that. I haven't touched on DLCs yet because honestly, I haven't played them yet. I didn't play them on Xbox 360, and I know it'll probably be a bit before I get to them now. Even man, that looks good.
And as soon as you walk into Hyde's Tower of Flame, Hyde Knight.
Hyde Knight, but
where he should be.
Without a doubt, even if you buy the DX9 version, Scholar of the First Sin is the way you're going to get the best deal on DLCs, and I feel like that's really what this game was made for. Mostly for someone like me who's played on an inferior system and never played the DLCs. Which brings me to the pricing. Now, as you probably know, From Software has caught a lot of shit on this game.
Especially for PC gamers.
Especially from PC because, oh, we already have the DX9 version. Why can't you just make the DX11 patch for free and not split the player base by having 2 separate modes? And I think it's a fair assessment. I don't really know why they have such trouble given, updating the API like that just from DX9 to DX11. I'm no video game developer, but from what I've seen from, it seems they have kind of a hard time developing for PC. I mean, look at the Dark Souls 1 port. We had to have DS Fix. I wanted to add more footage, no big deal. We had to have DS Fix to fucking make Dark Souls 1 run in 1080 60 frames per second because it was locked at 720 30 otherwise. And so I think that inexperience kind of shows through the split API functions. Furthermore, you still have to pay like only $10 left for the DX9 version of Scholar of the First Sin, and you don't get that good of an upgrade.
You're getting all the
bonus.
DLC, and if you pre-order from GameStop, you get a poster.
Yay!
Posters are cool. That's awesome.
And that's only if you're doing console. So really, what I think with the $60 price point on current gen Xbox One, PS4, the relaxed like $40 on old gen, and same thing with the DX9, and the loose upgrade pricing, which is $30 if you own Dark Souls 2 on PC already. And $20 if you own Dark Souls 2 and the DLC. So basically, they're charging $20 for better graphics and $10 for the DLC, from what you can gather from that pricing difference. In my opinion, this game was made for someone like me, who's only played this on ancient hardware like the PS3 or Xbox 360, and now can play it fully maxed out on a nice gaming PC. It's actually worth the $50 for that, because not only are you getting the $20 price point for the graphics upgrade, $10 for all the DLC, and then you're only paying $30 for the base game, which is a hell of a deal to me. So I have absolutely no buyer's remorse about it, because I know this is going to provide several hours of entertainment. Can I wholeheartedly recommend it to anybody who's already played both the game and DLC on either PS3, Xbox, or PC? I don't know, especially the PC part, because, I mean, if you're dying to play with friends or something, and you won't pay $20 to do it, I guess you're justified, but, I mean, I don't really know. This is one game I will actually go on and recommend for PS4 almost as much as I will PC, because from what I understand, it runs stably, and it looks almost as good as maxed out on PC. Obviously, you can run it in the same resolutions and frame rates on PC, but for 1080 60, oh great, fucking props in the background. Well, that's lovely. I have to wait for that to Wait for that to go away. What I was going to say is, for console gaming, PS4, I can recommend playing this game on that, because the gamepad is better designed for this type of game, for left R1, L1, and the Xbox One version is reportedly frame dropping to sub 50 frames per second. To me, that's not a 60 frame per second experience. So, combined with the inferior controller design, not the design itself, the mapping, they should have put attack and block on left trigger and right trigger for the fucking millionth time, but they haven't. And the fact that it doesn't perform as well, I would say get this for PS4 if you're going to buy it for a console. PC is still the best version. And what's your opinions on the Xbox, the 360 version?
I guess, I already own a copy of Dark Souls 2, and it was $30 when I bought it, but you're paying $40 for a whole new copy, and you're really not going to get the huge benefits of all the graphical upgrades, because we're still running on DX9, because guess what? It's Xbox 360. Now, from anybody's perspective, buying it, do you think paying for DLC is an extra $10? Is that from saying that, oh, our DLC is worth $10, or we're just going to put this back out because we know people didn't get the DLC? Well, they'll buy it again because they want to get the benefits of all the DLC in-game without having to download it and whatnot, whatever they think.
So they have that many more offline customers coming in, which are double dipping because they have no other choice if they want to get
which
DLC.
Is me.
A perfect example.
So that's why I'm buying it. But to be honest, if I didn't buy the copy of Dark Souls 2 myself, being $30, I got it as a gift. If I had to pay for it myself, I don't really know if I pay another $40 for the exact same game plus some DLC. Yeah, $10 is great for some DLC, but that's $70 in total for the $30 game and DLC. So in essence, you're still spending $40 for some DLC.
Yep. So honestly, if it were me, what From should have done, from a more, obviously what they're doing is the money-making model. There's no question about it. But I think the more moral, ethical treatment of things, what they should have done, was on last-gen consoles, make the Season Pass $10 at most. $10 is fine, I think, for all 3 DLCs. You're still getting a shit ton of content, and you're still playing on old DX9 version, but that's all you need. Sell the DLCs in discs if you want to. I don't care, like however you want to do it. But then, only make Scholar of the First Sin on PC and Xbox One and PS4. That way you have the entire remastered collection, the new NPCs, all of that good stuff on the current generation platforms.
Instead of forcing people like me to pay $40 for some damn DLC.
Yep. And about the whole, DX9, DX11 difference on PC, like I said, I don't know that I know any way that they could have gotten around that with splitting the player base. I would say anybody who cares enough about playing this game anyway is going to pay the $20 to play DX11. So, especially since Bloodborne's out on PS4, no one that only owns a PC can play Bloodborne, and you want your touch of From gaming, you're going to buy this game.
Here's your shot. Unless you want to spend $300 to $400 on a PS4, and who wants to do that at this point? If you've already got a nice little gaming PC that can run this game at 4K.
Why spend on a subpar, hardware? Nothing wrong with Bloodborne. Matter of fact, I wish it would come to PC, but it's not going to.
Because it looks fantastic.
Game design, everything looks great, but I'm totally content with playing this for now. So if I had to give a bottom line, first of all, I'm going to go ahead and address some of these potential trolls that are going to say, oh, you haven't beat the game, how come you review it? I've beat Dark Souls 1 regularly. I'm going to go back through here, play it, beat it with all the DLCs and whatnot. So, no, I'm not going to give a numerical score because I haven't even beaten the DLCs before to even, have a baseline of it. But I can tell you this, the base game was probably my game of the year 2014, and I played quite a few other good games in 2014. And for someone who played on terrible hardware and a subpar version of the game coming to this, I feel like this game was made specifically for me. So for anybody that has ascended from a 360 or PS3 to a PC and they want to get back into this game, never played the DLC, perfect. Absolutely perfect. If you've never played a Dark Souls and you have a PS4 or Xbox One, more so PS4, and you want to jump in, I honestly think this is a good spot. I would recommend you go back and play Dark Souls 1.
Because Dark Souls 1 will wreck you. It will wreck you.
And it will prepare you much more for this game, and you'll have an appreciation of the lore and whatnot. But I do recommend you play 1 before this. But if you've never played 2 and you have a PC or a current generation console, they're no longer next gen, they're out. Then I think this is a perfect jumping on point. If you've played the game on PC already and you've played the DLC, I mean, it's up to you, but if it were me, I wouldn't buy it. I don't think there's enough. I don't think the new enemy spawns justify it for me. So,
unless you really just want that much more of a challenge to play through this game again. If you thought it was too easy the first time,
then here you go. It's your,
yeah,
it's your
right
opportunity.
there for you.
So, unfortunately, your saves can't transfer on PC or anything like that, so you'll be starting from scratch. But if that interests you, go for it.
Now, I just pose a question here to, I guess, anybody. Now, when it comes to consoles, for, I guess, 360, when you put the new disc in, are you just transferring your data, or what occurs there?
From what I understand, even on PS3 and Xbox 360, I could be wrong, someone correct me if I am, in the comments, it has a whole new set of achievements and trophies for both 360 and PS3. So essentially, you can 1,000 gamer score this game twice. And so I don't think your saves will transfer.
Well, that's a pain then.
I don't know that's for fact. I do know for a fact that there are different trophies across generations, like Xbox One and 360 are different, and DX11 PC and DX9 PC are different. But as far as the same generation, that's how I understood it. I could be wrong. I've watched one of the IGN streams, and I thought that's what they said. But if I am wrong, please correct me, and I'll be sure to make a sticky of that. But
I feel as if now, I feel like a lot of people would think, why didn't From do this from the beginning? Why didn't they just, improve the graphics to this point? Because we know they can, because guess what they did? And why didn't they just include the DLC in a bundle? We know how, but, well, let's just think about it. From's a gaming company. They're trying to make their money, and they know people are going to buy this again if it's improved. Period.
And they're not exactly, like I said, the most competent PC company out there. So, of course, what would it be easier for you to do? Make a DX11 version and scale it down for current gen hardware, or makes a DX9 version on current gen hardware, put it to PC, and then just like up the textures and stuff like they did. And that's exactly what they did. And the modding community, as normal, made the graphics better. Not E3 2013 better, with all the dark, having to rely on torches and whatnot, but it was, significantly better. But now it's night and day. It's a total remaster. So, bottom line, if you want to play this game again and you've never played the DLC, and you want to play it on a better platform, especially PS4 or PC, if you want to play really high resolutions, fucking go for it. $50, $60, I think is totally worth it. If you've already played it in the DLC and you're not really crazy about the graphical updates and you don't really have other people to play with, and if you want to use your old character especially, sorry, you're kind of out of luck.
There goes all your hours of grinding in this game.
And you're going to be doing it again. So that's my take on it. We'll, if we have differing opinions down the road, or if something comes up and changes, or any of you bring up a really world-shattering point, then we'll make a follow-up video and second impressions type of thing. But that pretty much wraps this up. Hopefully this has helped someone make a purchasing decision. That's what this is about. Like I said, I'm not going to give this a numerical score because I'm not done with it. But yeah, that should hopefully help someone someday. So thanks for watching. Stick around if you like Dark Souls stuff, because, well, I've got a playthrough going on. There will be Dark Souls 1 playthrough. Logan's playing stuff. Ashton's going to be playing stuff. This is like the Dark Souls channel. It didn't really mean to be, but that's what it is. Damn, I came close there. So any last words?
Well, I guess just to address the point of DLC yet again, DLC in this game seems like it exposes a lot more of what has occurred, and I guess all the different kings. They discuss all the different kings. Like, they just said a lot in this game about kingdoms rising and falling. I guess if you want to pay that extra $10, then you get to understand more of this game.
And that's really what I think Scholar of the First Sin is when it comes down to it. Yeah, maybe it's a little bit of money grubbing, maybe it's a little bit of unnecessary, putting themselves out there, but I think for the most part, it is kind of a fan service, even though they're overcharging for it, in my opinion. But I mean, if people are going to pay for it, I can't really blame them, because I'm one of those suckers who did, but I don't regret it. So I think this is a niche market game, and I'm not really disappointed with them one way or another. So yeah, that's about it. Like I said, stick around if you want to watch the Dark Souls playthrough. There's also a ESO review on if you're into MMOs and would like to see my take on that. And I'll link that in the description as well as my Scholar of the First Sin playthrough, which you've seen footage from. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye.